Hello, everyone. Welcome. It's Happy Friday afternoon. Welcome to this virtual panel presented by WIA. Founded in 1995, Women in Animation is the only organization dedicated to advancing women in the field of animation. We envision a world where women share equally in the creation, production, and rewards of animation, and we provide resources and connections to make it happen. My name is Roseanne Tisserand. I'm on the board of WIA Vancouver and Spark, and I'm the founder and co-executive producer of ACE, and I'm the co-founder of Flying Kraken Creative Studios. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge that we are gathered on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Coast Salish peoples, including the territories of Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, and the Musqueam Nations.
And throughout the presentation, feel free to use the question and answer box to send us your questions. We will do our best to get to as many as we can. Also, just a reminder, the Spark Animation Festival is running from October 29th to November 8th. This presentation will be available as part of the on-demand festival content beginning Monday, November 2nd. And for full festival and program details, visit sparkanimation.ca. We'd like to welcome you to our panel today on the ACE program. My name is Tracey Mack. I'm one of the co-executive producers of the program. I'm also the founder of Urban Safari Entertainment, a children's and family entertainment company, and head of production COO of Imagine Create Media. Before we begin, I'd like to thank Women in Animation, as well as our sponsors, Creative BC, Telefilm Canada, Toon Boom, Autodesk, the Canadian Media and Producers Association Branch BC, Spark Animation Festival, the National Film Board, Pender PR, Boughton Law, the Producers Essentials course, and the Research House. So we're here today to talk about the ACE program. Roseanne, what is the ACE program?
Glad you asked. Women in Animation, our ACE program is specifically designed for exactly what Women in Animation is specifically looking for. It's to advance the careers of women in the animation industry by giving them a key credit in the creation of their very own short film and providing mentorship and training along the way to ensure they are set up for success. We provide individual professional mentoring for each participant, group-wide mentorship and training, individual pitch training, focusing on how to present and sell themselves and how to network, marketing and pitch training for the development and pitching of their own IP, attendance at a festival and or conference, promotion of each participant through social media initiatives and industry networking opportunities, and they're going to be speaking on some panels like today. How does it happen? Here's how it all starts. An open invitation is sent out to women and women identifying persons through studios, social media channels, and nonprofit organizations that promote diversity, very important for all of us, in order to encourage a diverse applicant pool and provide opportunities for a wide variety of mid-level artists who wish to apply. The applications for each position are shortlisted. Shortlisted applicants receive pitch training and master classes specific to their position, their role. Shortlisted applicants then pitch to a jury of industry professionals. This is used not only to select the final candidates, but also to increase awareness in the industry of the amazing pool of talented women in right here who are already here and ready to move up. So we're creating opportunities not only for the selected candidates, but for those who are shortlisted. The selected candidates will then collaborate on the creation of their very own short film that they will jointly own. The candidates each put together with mentors to support them over the course of the year as they work on their short film. Candidates receive additional pitch training near the end of the film before having the opportunity to attend an animation marketer festival, so that again, someone in pitch training teaches them what a marketer or conference is like and how to pitch yourself. I'm a composer and I want to do more work. How do I do that? Who do I look for at a market? And then the film will screen at Spark 2021. And what has changed? This is our second go around. This year, we have added a sixth role of composer. We're always looking to expand those key creative roles. And we actually had a core music group come up to us and say they really wanted to participate in this. It was important to them. It was a brilliant idea. Our workshop process is different. Last year, the selected candidates had workshops and pitch training. This year, all shortlisted candidates received these workshops and pitch training. Our jury process was different. This year, each shortlisted candidate, again, pitched themselves, why this program is right for them, and then for each specific role, their thoughts on how they might approach directing or art directing the script that would be produced. We specifically started with writing, so each candidate could talk about how they related to the script personally and professionally. It was important to us that story went into the selections and pitches. The jury was then, in effect, a spotlight to showcase their talent to the key studio executives in Vancouver, and it worked. The jury all spoke that they would love to hire every one of the women. It was the hardest thing. We had a couple of ties. It was amazing. So we'd love to, at this moment, just throw up a slide of our amazing jury and thank them so much for their hard work, their dedication, their thoughtfulness with every candidate. It was such a humbling process to see how carefully everybody weighed their decisions and their notes. Brenda Gilbert with BRON, Tracey, of course, Jen McCarran with Atomic, Jan Miller, who's our pitch and content specialist, Kirsten Newlands, Heather Puttock with Kickstart, Shabnam Razai with Big Bad Boo, Terry Snellgrove with the NFB, Julie Stewart, who's a show creator and showrunner, and myself and Kim Dent-Wilder, who is with Mainframe. So that was our amazing jury. And if you know Vancouver, that's Vancouver animation in a nutshell. Now that I've thanked the jury, there are two other really important people that Tracey and I'd like to thank, and that's our partners and sponsors, very important to WIA Vancouver and to ACE. We have Bob Wong, who's the Vice President of Creative BC. Hi, Bob.
Hi there. Thanks very much for having me
Thanks,
on.
Bob. Thank you. Our other special guest is Elisa Supa, who is the Attaché Corporate Affairs and Industry Relations with Telefilm Canada.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome, Elisa.
Elisa, I was wondering if you could tell us what this program means to Telefilm.
Well, first of all, I just want to thank WIA, Roseanne, Tracey for having me here, and to congratulate the 6 successful candidates. So kudos to all of you. Why this program is so important to Telefilm is because it provides, well, one, it's celebrating and empowering women to work in animation. That in and of itself is critical, because we know that historically there have been particular challenges for women breaking into this genre. So that is one reason. Two, it's if the theme is inclusivity and embracing women into the industry, I think it's important that they have the opportunity to be empowered, to be visible to the industry, the marketplace, to potential employers, to your potential co-producing partners and people that will want to take note of you, your talent, and your content. So, and I think I find really appealing, and my colleagues at Telefilm agree, it's an approach that is very collaborative and inclusive in the whole approach of how you choose your candidates, to the whole program itself. There's ongoing tapping into different expertise, ongoing collaboration, and the willingness to constantly improve and support one another. And I think that whole model is really commendable and something that I think should be copied, frankly. So, that's why I think Telefilm is here, and hopefully will continue to be so. Thank you.
And Bob, from Creative BC's perspective, what are your thoughts on this initiative and its impact on our community?
Thank you, Tracey, and thank you, Roseanne and Women in Animation, for inviting me to be here today. As we know, the makeup of the motion picture industry in BC does not truly reflect the community that we live in. And I think any opportunities where we can diversify and be more inclusive with respect to our workforce, especially our creative people, are always welcome. So I think this initiative aligns really well with Creative BC's values, and it really provides a great opportunity for women in the animation sector to really elevate their voices.
And what do you feel are some key components of the program?
I really like what Roseanne said at the beginning, where she said she looked at the jury and said, if you know Vancouver animation, this is all Vancouver here. And so I echo Alyssa's comments that it is a very collegial and collaborative effort of the community here in Vancouver and in BC. I really like that workshop approach that ACE has taken for this program. And it's really great that you include not just the 6 recipients of the program, but the shortlist as well, to take them through that workshop process. I think it's really great that you show them the full value chain from development, pitching, sales and distribution, production, tax credits. Really understand not just how to produce a project, but really, again, everything else that goes into running a company and being in the animation industry. And then the other key component, of course, is that we have a new company, a new animation company here in Vancouver, run by 6 women. That's awesome. Thank
you. Elisa, and your thoughts?
Well, I mean, Bob's made some excellent points. I think what at Telefilm we think is particularly interesting about this initiative is that there's going to be concrete outcomes. Concrete in the sense of women owning and controlling their IP, concrete in terms of, as Bob was saying, specific empowerment of skill sets that they need to be increasingly more competitive. So it's the tangible outcomes, and especially, and it's interesting, we're doing a lot of consultation right now, and we hear from creators from every part of the country how important it is to really control their storytelling, to control the IP, and this is providing that. Also, giving them credit, which will make them, available and competitive for their next opportunity. So I think it's really validating the authentic voice of these creators and supporting them right through the value chain, as Bob says. And that really is quite a feat, because there's a tangible and real outcome at the end.
And today is about diversity, of course, and we'd love to hear from each of you what your organizations are also doing. There's lots of other things both Telefilm and Creative BC are doing to support diversity. Elisa, do you want to start talking about just a few things Telefilm is doing?
Okay, well, I'll try and be brief, but I think hopefully it's clear to the industry that Telefilm is prioritizing inclusivity. We really need to see a greater diversity and representational diversity of talent in our pipeline. So to that, and we know that it has been a challenge, and we haven't done, it hasn't changed enough. So we really are doing much more in a much more concentrated and focused way. So we've now created a diversity inclusion working group, and also there's an equity and representation action plan. It's a real plan with 4 key pillars, and it's resulting in change, and we're hoping that the industry is starting to see that. There's actions regarding employment, so inside Telefilm, and we now have a quota of that we plan to reach by 2023. We're also looking at changing our programs to be much more inclusive, and to that point, we just recently launched a racialized stream for development, and that will be juried by people from diverse communities. We're looking really to, what we've heard from the industry is we really need to get data. So we've created a working group, a subcommittee for data collection as well. So there's a much more collaborative approach in our conversation with the industry, and it's leading to real and tangible actions with this action plan. And we have our different working groups and subcommittees that's really making changes. And I'm hoping that people will start to see the benefit of that.
Great. And Bob, in terms of Creative BC, what are they doing specifically here in British Columbia?
So much like telefilm, we are looking internally and working internally and first and then outwardly. So CreativeBC board and staff are engaged with a consultant to elevate inclusion strategies in anti-racism work. It's a formal and transformative organizational-wide personal and professional JEDI training process. JEDI standing for Justice, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion. With a deliberate review and enhancements of brand behaviors at every touch point, opportunities and policies are being enhanced. So the organization is holding itself accountable to a thorough process intended to build internal understandings and competence with these JEDI principles. CreativeBC will deliberately inform and expand changes that support and serve concentric relationships, and positive impacts through all spheres of influence will reach the public. Then on an external basis, key strategies include inclusive leadership and decision-making, continued project management of the Motion Picture Production Industry Association's Creative Pathways project, which is set up to serve motion picture and beyond. And it's really to increase program participation by underrepresented groups and increase discoverability for diverse voices and perspectives to shape culture and creative product for export. So that's, this is a very important time for us as is for telefilm, and we understand the challenges that CreativeBC, the industry, and the workforce face. And so, we take these as we put these as very high priorities, and we're making sure that they are all infused within all of the programs that we develop going forward.
And if I can I just build on what Bob said? I think what you'll hear and continue to hear is how important it is to keep working in partnership on all levels, because the systemic racism and the barriers that we have been there for a long time. And the only way we're going to change the whole value chain is working more collaboratively and in partnership. And I think that's one of the key things that this initiative has. There's a real collaborative effort and respectful exchange of expertise and know-how.
And if I could just jump in again, we're not going to work in a silo here. We are, as Alyssa said, we are going to work and collaborate across all the key stakeholders, provincially and nationally and internationally. And organizations like Women in Animation are key partners in making sure that we hit our goals and in this.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Elisa. Thank you so much, Robert, for your time. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us about the ACE program or your diversity efforts at the moment?
I just think that I'm so happy that CreativeBC has been able to support this program, and this is only year 2, and hopefully it continues to further partnerships and more companies being developed and created, being led by women in British Columbia. So I'm really happy to see the results of our first 2 years of collaboration, and hopefully there'll be many more to come.
And I'll just follow that by saying, I think Women in Animation have set the bar high for this type of initiative. And it really, I say it, Roseanne knows, it's really an inspiring initiative because of the end results, and really that it makes visible talent that wasn't previously visible to decision makers, to programmers and potential production partners. So I'm excited for the talent in this next cohort.
And speaking of the next cohort, Roseanne, I believe we have our 6 ACE candidates for this year.
So excited. Oh, we've been waiting for. I'm going to introduce our 6 candidates, and I'll introduce them in the way we brought them in our process, and let them speak to you for a little bit of time and talk a little bit about themselves, and we'll bring them back for some questions as well. But let's open the envelope. We'll start with our writer, Robin Campbell.
Hello, I'm Robin Campbell. I'm very grateful to be here, and thank you, Ace, and my mentors and everyone. I've actually been going through the mentorship program for the last 8 weeks already, and have experienced just how impactful it's been on my writing and on this project, and just on my knowledge on how to present myself to this whole community. So thank you for that, and thank you, Roseanne and Tracey, for bringing us here. I'm currently the development coordinator at Mainframe Studios, where I am responsible for shepherding diverse projects into creation, including editing and helping to write original IP. I'm also a freelance screenwriter. My first feature film script, called The Best She's Ever Had, was an official selection of Oaxaca's International Film Festival. And I also wrote several commercials for a company called Fit Plan that all centered around strong female leaders. Those commercials have now accumulated millions of views online. To me, it has always been very important to convey women as capable, inspiring, and strong within my writing. And I do believe that the world needs more stories with female voices behind them so that we can actually see the female gaze and appreciate women for everything that they can be. So my goal for what I've written for this program is to bring more female empowering content to the world.
Thank you, Robin. See that training already paying off. All right. Next up is our producer, Teeny White.
And here you go. I was so excited, just talking away. My name is Teeny White, and I am originally from Austria. I came to Canada about 7 years ago and discovered the world of animation, which was just the best thing that could happen to me. I'm also very grateful for this program. When I saw it last year, it kind of passed by. So when the opportunity came up, I really jumped at it and say, I have to be part of that. And I have to echo what was said before. I really like also the inclusive touch of having all the candidates, even the shortlisted ones in there, which makes us feel also better because those workshops are for more people and they were so beneficial. Of course, you can only have one person at the end, but I know how great it was to do that workshop together as a group. So I thought that was already such a step in the right direction as an experience. I am a line producer at Atomic Cartoons, where I'm currently working on a hilarious show I can't tell, but I was the line producer on Last Kids on Earth. So that's the show you can watch on Netflix. Thank you.
Next up is our director, Anna Gussen.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming up, showing up, and supporting the program. Yeah, like Robin and Teeny said, it's been an amazing opportunity, like a big transformation. And very excited to be here today. Well, my name is Anna, and I'm currently part of the senior animation team at Atomic Cartoons. But gladly, I'll be the director of this short film. This is a new step for me. This will be my first professional experience as a director, and I'm really looking forward to growing to this role, having this support of mentorships, and working with this amazing team. So yeah, let's go, girls. It's going to be awesome. Thank you.
Next up is our art director, Cindy Chang.
Hi, I'm Cindy, and I guess like everybody else has said already, this has been a great opportunity, even just in the process of being shortlisted and attending those workshops. I've been a visual development artist and designer for the last 8 years. I've worked on the Angry Birds movies and Octonauts, and most recently on the Invincible series by Robert Kirkman. I'm currently a designer at Kickstart Entertainment, and I'm just very excited to be working with everyone and as stepping into the role of an art director as well.
All right, next up, animation director, Erica Miles.
Hi, I'm Erica. I'm also very, very excited to be a part of this program and work with this fabulous group of ladies on the short. I've been working professionally in animation for about 7 years now, most recently on The Legend of the Three Caballeros for Disney, 101 Dalmatian Street also for Disney, and Hilda for Netflix. I'm currently working as a lead animator at Atomic Cartoons. Animation has been something that I've loved for pretty much my whole life, so I'm very excited to get the chance to learn more about directing in animation, especially with the mentorship aspect. I'm just really excited to get into that, and the experience with the workshops so far through the ACE program have been fantastic, especially learning how to pitch myself has been really, really great. So yeah, I'm just very excited to be here.
And our last candidate and our the newest addition to our group to make this film as a composer, Eva Pekarova.
Hi, I'm Eva Pekarova. Like everyone else said, I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you to Roseanne and Tracey and WIA and all the sponsors. I come from Slovakia. I immigrated to Canada. I have a classical background in music, and I'm currently scoring some local Vancouver indie projects. This is my first real credit, and I'm so excited that it's part of such a wonderful community and such a wonderful group of women. Yeah, I'm very excited to see what we add to this community, what we create together. It's really exciting. I'm currently a stop motion fabricator on a National Film Board sponsored project, and just super excited to begin. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to interrupt. I forgot to totally say thank you so much to Terry at Snellgrove and Julie Stewart for all of your mentorship. I would not be the writer that I am if it wasn't for your mentorship over the last 2 months.
Thank you. So thank you, Robin. Mentorship has definitely been, as you said, a great part of the program. Teeny, what's something you hope to get from the experience?
So what I really like, that's the difference to my day job, because being a line producer means you have to be, you gain a lot of skills in working together and collaborating with the team. You have a client, but it's never your own. You make it your own in certain parts, and that's great. But this is kind of the one thing that was so attractive to me, that we as 6 women can do a project together and really we own it. And that's a different feeling than if you just deliver it. And it's my very first time, so I'm really, really super excited to do that. And then obviously having women together is that other aspect where I'm so excited about, because I feel that if you put us together, it's something magical. It happens, and it happened before on teams. So I know already when I saw when we were in the interviews that this is going to happen again. So, yeah.
Cindy, what about you? What do you hope to get from the experience?
I think it's funny, everything Teeny has said, I completely agree with, and I'm sure the other women agree with that too. And for me, yeah, I guess to be able to have this as my first opportunity in this role, I think it will be very special.
Anna, for the program so far, kind of what's been your highlights?
Yeah, definitely a lot of them. It's hard to pinpoint something. But like Teeny said before, having the shortlist candidates all together for the mentorships, that has been very special too, because you get to meet different girls from women from the industry. They are so inspiring and doing such amazing work that wouldn't just cross your path in another way. So this has been truly special, just to meet different women and seeing what they're working on.
And what about you, Erica?
Yeah, I would have to agree with Anna on that for sure. Just getting the chance to work with a bunch of different women in animation has been really fantastic in the workshops that we've done so far. And it was great to be able to include all of the shortlisted candidates as well. The pitching workshop for me was personally really wonderful, because just learning how to sort of present yourself in a really great way has been really, really helpful for me. And yeah, I'm just really, really thrilled to get the chance to work with all of these ladies on a film and get to own that in the future and show it to the world.
Eva, how have things been for you?
They've been really great. Like everyone else said, having the chance to have workshops with other women that are shortlisted was an amazing experience. As a composer, I don't often get to meet other women composers, so it was really wonderful to get that experience, to talk about our different experiences and approaches, and really to share our history and what brought us into this passion.
And the jury process. Robin, how was that for you in front of the jury of all the amazing women that Roseanne mentioned before?
I would say it was really inspirational, which is like the main thing. I would say was like it was just such a strong presence of all of these women, and they asked such insightful, wonderful questions, and some things that like I maybe didn't consider before, and I think actually like created like more depth to my project based on the jury process, which was like just a really impactful thing for me.
What about you, Anna? What were your thoughts about presenting and pitching to a jury?
Yeah, it was such a great list of names, and like, yeah, they are the Vancouver animation industry. I was very surprised on how supportive and great they were. It was really eye-opening and really how to say. Really gave me great confidence to be working in a great industry that has, and knowing that they have great people that support newcomers, and they want to have a diverse and different industry. That was really nice about the jury.
And Cindy, how was pitching for you?
I think with the workshops, we were all probably like able to do the pitch. I felt like I learned a lot in the process, and definitely at the very beginning, I was very nervous about it. But then in the process of the workshops and then actually doing it on the day, I agree with Anna. It was like you gain more confidence and you realize that everyone is very supportive, and yeah, it was great.
Erica?
Yeah, I feel like I'm just going to echo everyone else. Because beforehand, it was definitely mildly terrifying to be pitching myself to such important people in the animation industry and just really inspirational women. So yeah, having the workshop was really helpful. But yeah, just getting in there and having the support of everyone on the panel was really, really wonderful. And it helped me to feel a lot more comfortable. And they asked really insightful questions. So it was a great experience overall for me.
Eva?
Honestly, same for me. This experience was so great. I'm glad that everyone else had the similar inspirational experience that I had. Pitching was great. The confidence and insightful questions that were asked really kind of surprised and made me think about my work in new ways, and I was able to kind of present myself in ways that were really quite surprising even to me after the workshops, and my ability to sort of present myself and my work. And it was just a really proud moment for myself, as I'm sure it was for all the other women.
Great. And Tini?
It was the hardest, the last, right? Because they all answered so nicely. The only thing I wanted to add is that I felt this is such a great life experience, because you but you very often go and interview and you pitch or you present. So I never got trained on interviewing. You just get better along the way or whatever. So this was such a good overall life experience to say, okay, this is how I should do this. This is we really broke it down into sections, as in, okay, you have 5 minutes. When do you say what do you want to stress it on? So I thought this was fantastic because I could already use it for something else. And I always like that if it's not, too tunnel vision, but you basically gain something out of that much bigger and larger for your life. So that's already, and we haven't even done the short. So,
Roseanne, what's one of your favorite things about the ACE program? Perhaps there's many.
There's many. Where's my list? Hang on, I made a list because there's so many. By providing the workshops and pitch training to all of the shortlisted candidates, we were able to triple ACE's reach, and it showed in the jury process with the caliber of talent. It was humbling. Many of the jury said they would have hired all of the candidates, and they will hook up with them and stay in touch. And we've told the candidates to do the same. Our other things are mentors and their enthusiasm for these candidates and our community to succeed. And I know, based on last year's group, we went to a conference in LA and they spoke on a panel. It was after their film was done, and sitting on that panel with them and seeing the seismic shift in how they spoke about themselves held themselves up as a writer, a director, a filmmaker, they were giving advice to fans who came up to them. I mean, that's the kind of power that this has had. I also asked the group from last year, the highlight from last year for them, and they said it was Spark 2019. What happens, hopefully it's live next year. We get to screen the film, and you are a VIP through that process. They sat down with Glenn Keane, Sergio Pablos, Bonnie Arnold, had dinner with them, had drinks with them. They became a peer in the industry. It was really fascinating to see that. Favorite part, we know it works. The other favorite part, which Bob had mentioned, is that we now have 2 female-led IP companies in Vancouver, and it's something I'm passionate about is IP, and obviously women advancing. So yeah, few things.
Just a few things. So through the course of this year, you'll be making the short film and going through the ACE program. If there's one thing you kind of hope to get out of it, or maybe there's more, what would it be? Robin?
Oh my gosh, one thing that I hope to get out of it. The relationships, I think, are just so extraordinarily important to me with my mentors, with you and Roseanne, with all of the people that I'm making this short film with. Like, these relationships, I feel like going through something hard together just like brings those bonds so much stronger. And that has been really wonderful so far. So I'll leave it to that one thing.
Teeny?
Yeah, that's my thing too. It's always about, as a producer, you're not that creatively involved. You are, but you kind of also are making sure that everyone's working well together and stay within the boundaries. So sometimes you have a role that's not that easiest, but that's kind of what it is. If you have a team that collaborates with you, that's the best feeling after and then you sit and you screen your movie, which is great. And then you feel like you have that product, but then you also have that team, and it's every time so special. So I think this one is going to be extra special because, the circumstances are very particular and very, very much different. So I'm looking forward to that. I want to talk to my future self already. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Talk as your future self.
I'll let you know then.
Yeah. Just like Tina and Robin, again, I'm going to echo everything. But something that I kind of wanted to pinpoint from before, it's something that I'm looking forward to. It's also breaking that idea that I previously had, and like researchers point out, is that women often, as women, we wait until we find we're perfect for a position. But this opportunity is really showing me, and I hope to show everyone else, that the industry and our peers and our superiors, they're open for us to ask for help and grow into a role. So definitely looking forward to getting the mentorships, the relationships in a concrete way, and really growing into this role with an awesome network of support and sorority. That will be great.
Great. Yeah, that's so true. So many studies have been reflective of kind of women and, having to have everything perfect and everything lined up. And really, kudos to you ladies. I mean, you're there. The jury, was so impressed by each and every one of you for kind of taking the step and taking the leap and going and doing it, because you're definitely, going to do it. Cindy, what are your thoughts or the one thing you're hoping to get out of the program?
Everything everyone else has said. And also, I think just to see what we create together and yeah.
Erica?
I feel like I'm going to do a lot of repeating again too. But yeah, just collaborating with this group and making the film. The mentorship aspect I'm really excited about because I have a really great mentor, and I'm excited to absorb all of her animation director wisdom and magic. And also because I've worked with her before, and she's been such an inspiration for me, and just showing that like women can be animation directors, because you don't see as many of them in the industry as there should be. So yeah, just being able to provide that visibility, and myself as a person with a disability, just showing that that's also possible for people to be in leadership roles. So I'm excited for that as well.
Right. Eva?
I'm so excited to be part of a community of such driven, talented, artistic women, and that we're going to have something to show for all this at the end. And also my mentorship, I'm so excited to step into that world, and this whole thing has been so welcoming already, and I'm just so excited, so excited. Thank you.
And Roseanne, what do you feel, what makes this program, so important?
It works. The approach we had was such a rewarding way of saying the program is more than the sum of its chosen candidates as well. Everyone wins just by going through the process. We also know that women hire women. So we had 5, 6, we have 11 women hiring more women. We've already taken that and expanded it into really great places. And, really, again, it's back to these women get that credit that advances their career. That's why I think it's important.
And, you talk about it working. What's happening with last year's film and the team?
Oh, they're doing lots of things. They've all advanced in their careers. Every single one of them, the magic happened and they advanced in their careers to the next level. Our favorite, Jen, who was our writer, had never written before and is now, since that day, been working as a writer at a gaming company. So that just warms your heart through and through. They all advanced in their careers. Their short film, The Butterfly Affect, has screened in festivals around the world, including a premiere at the New York Children's International Festival, Film Festival. They won Best Animated Short at the La Femme International Film Festival, first place in the Mixed Media Experimental category at the Florida Animation Festival, and it's still moving in the festival circuit. I believe they're going to be working with New York again as being one of their traveling films. Also, several members of the original team of Spectacle 5 are still together. Spectacle 5 is a company still in Vancouver. They're continuing to collaborate and work on new films and get out there. So that's amazing.
And how did ACE this year kind of focus on bringing diverse candidates to the program?
We really worked with various groups. All of our social media posts, our website, did a call out for that. And we specifically, I would talk to people, indigenous groups. I spoke to them. We spoke to all of our studios. We really did a reach out to make sure they knew we wanted them to apply to this initiative. So, it was good. And, it's really important that we find that diversity we found a fair amount of diversity. So it's great.
Fantastic. And what are your future plans for the ACE program?
We are hoping to expand it to other chapters. We'd love to expand it to other chapters. We'd love to scale it. It's scalable. We can take it, a studio can take the components, the fabric of this, and they can say, there's a development project and there's someone who wants to direct. We can scale it down and have them do a trailer, have them do a Bible. There are ways to scale this so that we can still do the same kind of support within a studio and it'll work. Or definitely we'd love to get to other chapters. I know Los Angeles, New York, they're interested in getting this up and running as well. And next year we'd love to expand and add another key creative role. So we're still working on that too.
Okay, great. And we'll just maybe take a few questions from some of our attendees. Roseanne, could you explain the jury process a bit more? How does it work and what do the panelists present?
Right. The jury process. So each candidate was, Jan Miller was our pitching expert. So she would do a group with the short list of all the directors. She would take that group, they would have them talk about themselves, and then she would give them homework to correct that, or to, as she calls it, put their best cards forward. They would come back and we would do another one-on-one session with Jan Miller, and she would form that and give them the confidence to go into the jury. Each candidate, other than the writers came with a concept and pitched the concept, we made sure that script was far enough along that every candidate after received the script and had related to it. So that it was really important that, Teeny loved that script. And when I was this and that, I loved that and I felt that each one could relate that to the jury. So we would have the jury session with everybody in a Zoom room. They would pitch for 5 minutes, show a reel for 2 minutes if it applied. Each jury member would go around and we'd ask a question, and then that would be that. Each jury member was given a grid. We had a grid of up to 100 points, and you could classify, how did the pitch go? What are the resumes like? What are the letters of reference? All of the material we asked for up front before the candidates applied. So they'd take all of this stuff, fill out their grid, and send it to us, and then we just add it up, and that was our selection.
Great. And we do have a few more questions, but I encourage those of you who are watching to just use that Q&A box in the Zoom. Send your questions in, and then we'll be giving them to the panelists kind of as they come in. So we'll move to the next one here. So these are to you, the candidates. What would you say have been the biggest challenges in kind of the process of participating in the ACE program so far?
I'll take it. I think being vulnerable. There is a thing of presenting yourself to all of these very successful women, and also putting all your cards down and telling them things that you don't tell regular people the first time you meet them about yourself, which is challenging and also is so empowering. Saying those things to all of these women and just putting it all out there, and then just fully accepting you and being proud of you and encouraging you. It's just this challenging but also amazing experience.
Anybody else want to touch on that?
Yeah, I do. Aside from what Robin said, stepping up and really challenging yourself to be open. For me personally, it was something that was very surprising to me that came up in one of our mentorships with Jen. Is I didn't mention before, but I'm originally from Brazil and born and raised there. So English is not my first language. So taking up the courage to review my communication abilities and all those things, it's been a surprising. It was great to have the mentorship to really help me get to that next level and of understanding how to present myself.
Anyone else?
Again, maybe very shortly, because I think that because we only had that experience of presenting ourselves, that was the biggest hurdle. But I'm really good at speaking free, but I'm really bad at being focused in that slot of 5 minutes and just structuring. So that was my biggest challenge, where I'm no, you gotta stay on the topic, you time yourself, and the practice with Jen was wonderful. So that was Robin said, it was hard, but it's also so rewarding when you go through it.
And it's challenges and also kind of what you learn as well, as you mentioned, Teeny. Anybody else want to touch bases on the question of what's the biggest thing they maybe learned so far?
I think it's building that self-confidence as well. And it's you have to take that leap of faith to build your self-confidence. And I think for me, everything everyone else has said, but I think I'm generally more shy or introverted, when I don't really know people. So that was a challenge for me to speak up. Yeah.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I would just sort of echo that as well, because I'm also a person who spends most of their time behind a screen working and not so much speaking to people. So yeah, speaking about myself and just trying to be as vulnerable and authentic as possible was definitely a challenge, but it was very empowering and a really great experience, especially with how supportive the panel of the jury was. So that would be what I would say about that so far.
Given kind of the current state of things that I know we're all acutely aware of at the moment, how do you anticipate being able to kind of bond as a team and collaborate now that everyone's kind of working in this new world of, we're everyone working remotely?
I think it's for every project, doesn't matter if it's the short, if it's where you are. I think that's a challenge that we go through anyways. So we have to, or my recipe is to just really over communicate, just never assume, just talk to anyone or jump on the call before you just think, it could go right, so it won't. So you just overdo it a little bit. And then I really hope we see each other at some point, or we can do a social distant coffee or something, because I really need the human beings in the room, and I'm fine. We all have our rules we have to follow, and we will be fine. But the good thing is that program runs over a year, so I'm also really looking forward to Spark, where we can present it whatever way it's going to be, hopefully a little bit more personal, because it is part of the industry that you collaborate with people in person. So yeah, that's definitely a challenge though.
Anybody else want to comment on remote working?
Yeah, we do have like great examples, like currently the productions we're working. Yeah, just reminding ourselves to that thing that Robin mentioned, like keeping ourselves vulnerable and open to communicating. So yeah, looking forward to really trying this out.
And what do you think kind of is going to be one of kind of the biggest challenges, besides the remote working, that you're going to kind of be facing in the next year?
I think it's just, getting to know each other, getting to know the script, and really delving deeper into our ideas and kind of putting everything together. I wouldn't necessarily say that's a challenge. I think that's kind of a fruits of labor thing where you work through that step by step and something wonderful comes out of it. I just see that as something that we'll have to tackle all together, and I'm excited for it.
And Roseanne, when, just to recap, I think it's been said, but we'll say it again, when is this next short film going to premiere?
Spark 2021. So next year, in a full year from now. Yeah.
Is there anything else, you ladies? We'll wait. We still have time for one or two more questions if those attending want to send them in. But in the meantime, is there anything else you ladies want to say or share with everyone?
Yeah, I think just once again, thank you, ladies, for this opportunity. Because yeah, we've done like what we've done so far has been really transformational and big and very inspiring. So yeah, bottom of my heart, thank you very much. It's been great meeting everyone. And yeah, looking forward to our future.
Can I say as a funder that I think it's really inspiring to see all of you, to hear your stories, and I know that we'll be watching your content and your storytelling soon. So I really applaud you, and courage. There's success around the corner, for sure.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you, especially to our sponsors, everyone attending here today. I'm just going to recap once again, because without sponsors, things like this are a lot harder to have. So thanks again to Creative BC, Telephone Canada, Toon Boom, Autodesk, the Canadian Media Producers Association BC branch, Spark Animation, the National Film Board, Pender PR, Boughton Law, Producers Essentials, and the Research House. Roseanne?
Yes, thank you so much, Elisa and Bob. I just wanted to make sure and get that in. So appreciated, and congratulations to all of our candidates. Again, can't wait for the year ahead. A couple of additional notes. Good day to be watching. You can join the Vancouver chapter of WIA in Animation today and save 20%. There's a code that you can see up there, and it is case specific. You have to make sure that you follow that or you'll get charged the full price. It's womeninanimation.org to join. And there's a whole ton of resources that exist in Women in Animation. So please, if you're interested, check into that. And that goes until Sunday, November 2nd. So there's just a few days to take advantage of that if you'd like to take advantage of that. We would also like to invite everyone. WIA is going to be launching, they're just in the beta stage of building a talent database for studios. It'll be used for hiring women and to get us closer to our 50-50 by 2025. So please join, hook yourself up with our social channels, watch the social channels, and there'll be an announcement later in November when the database is ready to go. So please make sure you do that as well. So I think it's Friday, 3/29. Thank you, Tracey, as always. And thank you, Marina, Judith, and Judy, as always. And I think that's about it. Take care, everyone.